Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1, and I have my big, huge video out for you that's going to nail this time frame, this new time frame down. Now, with this last time frame that we're still in a sense, being the third day, because the first day was the 19th, and now today's, as I'm doing this video and putting it out, it's later, the 21st of September. So September is a wash, okay? And I hate to say that, but it is. Because there's a number of things that had to happen on the first day, and if you don't understand that, I'm sorry, but I've laid it out over the years, what the first day is, what the fourth and fifth day are, what the and so on and so forth. And I'm going to touch on that a little bit, but if you've been following me, I'm going to pin this to the top of comments as far as the dates and the events. So if you want to know exactly what events and what day on what days, they'll be pinned to the top of comments on this video. Now this is part one. This is a shorter version of what I normally do, probably. I won't know until I start saying it all out here, but should be. And then I'll have a part two, which will be massively more in depth. And I'm going to deal with several timelines, okay? And I'm going to talk about that at the end of this video. That's going to nail this time frame down. It's going to be a little bit different than what I'm used to doing for a long time, because the problem is all this numerology can mean different things, and obviously it has for all this time. So I think I might have this completely nailed down now, finally. With some really crazy things. It's hard until I can pull it out and bring it out to you and show you in depth. You don't know what I mean, but so I'm going to show this to you. It's just absolutely crazy. And what I have to show you right now is just absolutely crazy too. Man, this is just a massive revelation from the Lord. These came in massive downloads here in the last couple of days, so I had to get this out as well before the 22nd/23rd. Because the September is a wash, okay? And like I've mentioned before, my timeline bases on a kind of a structure of 14 days. There's a pre-day and a post-day, so it ends up being about 16 days. But with this 14-day structure, this has been proven close to 200 times in 4+ years. Because when I've had other timelines or something, each day has shown up as far as symbolically. Now I'm going to show you what that means here in a second, and how these exact days, which I've said what they represent, are hitting those particular symbolic events on those days exactly. So, for example, this first day, let me get right into it here. So Biden says U.S. forces would defend Taiwan in the event of a Chinese invasion. He's basically talking about this on the first day. So the pre-day was the 18th, the first day is the 19th. I call those the first day. It's each day is a 2-day process, as I've said many times. And so we're talking about, I've been saying that Taiwan will be invaded on the first day. Okay, you can pretty much take that to the bank. There's so much symbolism in iPad code and gematria and all kinds of stuff, and so many different things I've shared over some time, and I'm going to bring out more of that. Okay, that on the first day, for him to even mention that and say that on the first day, I mean that even more solidifies the first day. The first day also has to do with the V and then the hokey pokey, as I call it, okay? So then, boom, right into here. On the same day, he says that, the V, the hokey, or the V, I should say, pandemicals is over in the U.S., okay? Can't say these words outright, unfortunately. So, and he said that. So, and OVER is something for the date. So anyway, we'll keep going here. So, again, the first day is symbolic. I've been saying for years of the jab, of the actual V, the virus, okay, and things like that. And so for him saying some big statement like this on this exact first day solidifies this first day massively. And I've had this happen probably about 40 times on the first days that I've had. Okay, so it confirms, and then things on the 5th and 4th and 5th day, and then the 7th and 8th day, 7th and 8th day, Obama and Trump day, Nobama, and I'll say Nobama, and Trumpel Day. And then, we have the 11th and 12th days, the tsunami days. We have stuff that correlates with that and symbolism of that and all that stuff. And that's how this works, okay? I'm proving it here that even if it doesn't happen, which it hasn't happened on this particular timeline, starting on the 18th, 19th and going through, it's still, these symbolic events are still happening, that's what they're going by. They're going by this numerology, and it's proven it every single time. So you can take that, that's solidified in so many ways, but it's the matter of which one is the final one. That's the case. And I think I might have it completely nailed down here with timelines that nail it down instead of, just symbols or different versions of the same numbers. Okay, which they love to do. They have all these different versions of the numbers, and I'm getting it closer and closer down. So this is what I'm going to present to you on part 2, which is going to be so detailed on the timelines to nail this down. But I have some big stuff to share with you on this one. Watch out here, okay? And then on that same day, because he says this while he's doing a 60 Minutes interview, okay? This massive announcement. I mean, he's saying that, and then all of his other people around him are saying, "Oh, he did. It's not really meant," and all that. But that's all predictive programming. They know what they're doing. They roll out everything with the way they need to. It's all gematria. It's all symbolism and all that stuff. And it was an excuse for this guy to step in and say, "Hey, wait a minute." What about? And then what does he say? No, we're gonna play. I'm gonna play what he said, and listen to what he said. Okay, here we go.
Likely that we will see another variant emerge, and is already on the horizon.
Okay, now just for my sake, hold on. I just go back there one more time. I'm gonna play it for you one more time, and hopefully that makes sense. Okay, here we go. Ready?
It is likely that we will see another variant emerge, and is already on the horizon.
Okay, so he's saying, so in one case you're seeing that Biden time is saying that it's over, okay, and people look at it as a flub, especially conservatives and all that kind of stuff, Christians and things like that, as a flub or whatever maybe, or maybe that's what he's really thinking it is. But then people in his cabinet and other people are saying, "Oh no, he didn't really mean that," and it looks like it's all disconjoined and everything, but this is all planned, okay, and then it's an excuse for Fauci to come out and say, "Okay, yeah, but we see something. It's a variancels, I'll say it that way, a vari and then an ant on the horizon." Okay, it's not. So that gives him an opportunity to say that, because it is. There's going to be another one that's on the horizon. They have a plan on the horizon, and in my next video, I think I'm going to nail it with a timeline that's going to bring in all the other ones and this final one, and it's going to. I'm going to show you this pattern that's incredible. It's incredible. Okay, so I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. Okay, let me pass that. Okay, and then again on the same day, so we had two things that Biden dealt with on the first day. Okay, had to do with Taiwan and with the V. Okay, or with the virus. Okay. How about that? So, and then we had, of course, the first day is Trump's announcement, okay, of that he's going to run. And then I've been saying that minimum he's going to say he's going to run. Maximum is going to be something with Israel. Oh my gosh. Because he is John that's in these different movies. For example, like Commando, he is John Matrix, who will be back. I'll be back. In all these other movies with Schwarzenegger, he is a version of Donald John Trumple. Okay, John is the guy in the middle. I mean, all these action movies where things get blown up and he comes back for revenge. Okay, and I've said that many times. In the Commando, he says, "I'll be back, Bennett," and then Bennett is Naftali Bennett. Just happens to be the prime minister right now in Israel. Okay, and that's not a coincidence. And I said this ahead of time that he would come out. Very possibly, I said this months ago, that when he comes out with and the announcement that Israel was probably going to be involved. He's going to kind of strengthen his position to come out with message of Israel, and maybe even cooperating with them and doing some kind of peace thing. Try to do some kind of peace thing, maximum with Russia or something. So right now it's coming out right now. So this is another phase that I'm showing that I've already predicted that he'd come out possibly like this, and he is. He's using the strength of his connection with Israel to come out with that. Okay, even though they're showing him, and which he's all part of. Now they just came out with, he's, New York is indicting him or whatever, or whatever that is, building a case against him. and all that. So for his fraud and stuff about his properties and things, saying that they're way more valuable than they were, and that's what they're using right now. But it's all gematria. Whatever they pick, whether it's January 6th and what happened then or whatever and all that, it's all gematria for what's coming, okay? So just keep that in mind, okay? And so here he is with Mr. John Voight, okay? By the way, John Voight is the numbers for this timeline I'm talking about, and I'm going to get into what it is in a second, okay? If you're wondering what the timeline is, okay? The newest timeline that I'm going to nail down with other timelines that support the exact time frame of this. Okay, so basically he's talking to there's so much thing I can point out with this, but he's so serious. He does a good job. He's calm. He's whatever. He's an actor. Okay, he literally touches on something with Trump and makes up the story about how this woman had cancer and Trump took care of it and all this stuff. I mean, and then he starts like crying a little bit. This guy is a good actor. I mean, Trump is somewhat of a good actor too. So boom, and then he just looks always so cheery. His hair is getting more, it's like it's gonna fly away. I mean, it's just crazy. He looks so cheery, doesn't he? He just looks so cheery. Anyway, Trump, just like anybody else, they are part of the system, okay? You've got to realize that. If you're still on the Trump bandwagon, get off of it. If you haven't figured that out yet, I don't know what to tell you, but he is. So what I'm saying is when this first day hits, he's going to come back, okay? And then this is all planned. I even had a 32nd degree Mason who's been his whole life, who's been a Mason, a Freemason all his life, tell me that this was the plan, that Trump would be eliminated and he would be in on it and he would know it and it's all fake. So he's somehow still going to live or something, but he's part of, this whole thing. So, and then, so again, he'll come on the first day, and then on the 8th day, which I'm going to cover here, then he's done. They're going to eliminate him with this falsels, flagsels, and New Yorksels and Manhattansels with the nukesels. I'll say it that way. With the nukesels and Manhattansels, and that's all tons of predictive programming and so many things I've shared over the years. Okay, here we go. And then, so as far as, trying to figure out, okay, I had this timeline out there already, and then I pulled a video because she died, okay? And it was like, okay, I was convinced that it would kick off the first day. And it is in a sense, but what they're showing is something else. And I'm going to show you what that is. I thought it was the first day, but they're really showing Stinky BO's death day or death days. Again, one day is 2 days, okay? So, because it's hard to explain it. I don't want to get into every detail all the time. Okay, so she died on September 8th, right? Okay, and for example, now, again, when this is based on Lilibet, okay, and if you watch my last video or other videos, you'll know what I'm talking. You know what I mean when I'm saying this. If you don't know this, then I'm sorry, but I'm moving on with that. So when she drops the apple, she's giving birth and she's dying at the same time. So that's still the case. However, it's pointing to the middle of the timeline instead of the beginning, and that's a weird thing. And I'm going to show that to you. Again, they move things around in these timelines, and it's hard to know the order and things. In fact, iPad Goat is a smash of all kinds of. Each scene is a different version of the timeline, the whole timeline. It's kind of like the Book of Revelation. I've said many times. Each chapter, Book of Revelation, is not in chronological order. Each chapter is its own timeline, and then they're smashed together. And so it's designed that way so you can't figure out what's really going to happen and when in the exact order and all that stuff because it's a mystery in a sense. But you can know certain things about it and certain details and all that. But as far as how it's all going to come together, and it takes someone, again, God has these secrets out for people to search and find and spend time with Him and spend time with the Lord and then eventually He reveals more and more things. But you have to seek and find, as the Bible says, and all that. And it says it's the glory of God to conceal the matter and the honor of kings to search it out, or the glory or honor of kings to search it out. So God hides these things, and it's up for us to search it out. And it's His glory to conceal it. Because He doesn't just make it available to anybody. Okay, so anyway, moving on. So it's not the first day. It's 22 Stinky BO and it's the 7th and 8th day. Okay, and that's what her death is pointing to. So I'm going to show you. So you see September 8th, that's the 8th day. And I've said this for so long. It's the 7th and 8th day. So the 7th day of whatever the timeline is, okay, whichever group of 14 / the pre-day and the post-day ends up being about 16 days, but it's a 14-day timeline. They're pointing to the 7th and 8th day. So Stinky BO dies on the 7th day, and then his death is reported. A majority of what's going on with his death is reported on the 8th day. So it's the 7th and 8th. In fact, his name, Brockles and Sainzels, Obamazels in English Sumerian is 978, and that's 9th month, 7th and 8th. Okay, and I'll tell you what that really is. So here we go. What is the 9th month really? So it's like I said, it wasn't pointing. This is not pointing to the first day because it's the 8th. Okay, it's not pointing to the first day. So no, it's not pointing to the first day. It's pointing to the 8th day. But what is it also pointing to? Is September really 9? No, we know September is Latin for septem, which is 7. So it's what's really 9? What's really 9 right here? What's really 9? Okay, let me do it this way. I got a couple different pointers here. This mouse is better. What's really 9? 9 is really Novem. Okay, and again, we know this could be, or I've known this for years, and I've shared this, that it could be either one. It could be, 9 or 11, or, I thought it could be 7, because 7 is September, but it's still 9, and all this stuff. And now, again, I'm going to nail this down with a number of things that are physical, that happen in a particular time frame, and even the past stuff that we're finally finding a time frame. I'm finding time frames that all kind of lock this in place, if that makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense, but I'm going to show you and touch on it a little bit here in this video, but I'll share a lot more on the next one. That it's just insane. I mean, literally, it locks down these dates. I mean, wow. So surprise, surprise. Sorry if you're hoping something in September, or even majority of October. It's not the case. It's going to kick in October 31st, going to the 1st. And when I put that video out, it only got like 4,000 views anyway. After about a week, and then I pulled it down because the queen had just died. So I'm like, okay, this could be happening this month. I was hoping, oh my goodness, but unfortunately, in a way, I was right. And again, I'm going to prove that with my next few videos, showing how this is locked down. Okay, and again, see, I'm just going to say it this way as well. Listen, I'm saying that this is solved, but it's always my guess. I put that out there that's solved so more people are curious, because I've got to get in front of more and more people. And in fact, as we get closer, they are shadow banning my channel so much. It's crazy. I literally have 27,000 subscribers plus now, and I'm lucky. I am lucky to get 10,000 views. Lucky. How is that? Way less, about a third of my subscribers watch my videos. That doesn't make any sense. They're turning off notifications. They're not making it available to. They're making it available to less and less new people all the time. I'm still getting some, but I mean, I've proven it. And if I do a search on anything in my videos, they're not there. And I put in keywords and everything. It's crazy. It's definitely proven. And so I've got to do some tactics to, like I did in the beginning, to get people to look at it and get curious. Oh, is this solved? Yeah, boom. Okay. But I'm going to say right now that it's not, I can't guarantee it, of course. Who can? And I'm not going to say I will, but I'm saying that I'm going to let you decide with the massive information and the evidence I'm going to show, and some I'm going to show here. So boom. So check this out. So the more evidence that this is part of the propaganda. They've shown this kind of thing with her name, and then when she was born and when she died, so many times, like hundreds of them out there of this kind of a thing. Okay. I just picked when she was younger, when she's older, but she is a evil serpent-like queen. I mean, and wait till I show you one of my videos at her funeral, what they were showing about her casket. And there's a figure there. There's an insidious figure there that is just crazy. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna show you that probably part 2 here. So what's this showing? Again, everything they do is predictive programming. It's hiding something in her name, in these dates right here. Now I'm going to show you what it's hiding. Now look, 9 plus 2 is 11, and then 1 plus 6 is 7, and then we have this 22. There we go. And remember, I said he was going to die on the 7th. Okay, it's about his death. She died on the 8th. September 8th, and September to the public is 9, but to the elite 9 is Novem. So it's Novem 7, and then she died on the 8th, 7 and 8. Okay, that's what I'm saying. And that's just, it keeps playing out that way. Okay, now, then I look back, see, when I was looking at this time frame before, I just started to dive into this idea of this eclipse on November 8th, okay? But I didn't see everything yet. And then she died, and then it pulled me away from everything and all the research I was doing to add to that video I'd put up, which I pulled down since. I'm glad I did, because a number of things I have to change, and there's some things I don't want to say anymore. So there's a number of reasons why that was, and I've evolved quite a bit since then, massively. So there's some things that don't apply quite, and I want to hit it with the most important information that I know, that's the biggest, of course, all the time. So look at this. I mean, there's a lunar eclipse, a blood moon, basically, on November 8th. And now this just dropped my jaw when I realized what this was. I knew about the eclipse, but I didn't get into it yet. But if I didn't know this yet, now watch. Boom. Look at its path. Look at the totality area here. This is insane. I mean, this is in the Pacific right here. That's massive. If you know at all what I'm talking about, you'll know right now what I mean. Again, I'm talking about his death, November 7th and 8th. And where is Stinky BO from? Right there. It's almost in the middle of this. That is massive. This just took my breath away. When I realized this, I knew what I was looking at and what was happening, and that cemented this for me in just an incredible way. So then watch. Look at where the the moon will be. Ready? Boom. That's basically right over Hawaii on the 7th through the 8th. This is insane. This is massive. If this doesn't startle you or get you, then you don't understand what this is, and hopefully I can explain it to you. But for a full blood moon, okay, to be right over Hawaii on the day, exact numerology I've said is his death. That's what this has all been waiting for. I mean, basically, okay, this is huge, and I'm just gonna support it in other ways. You'll see massively. Okay, like right here, this is the Antichrist and iPad goat, and I've shared this one other time, I think, or maybe twice in the past, but this is definitely an eclipse. Okay, and now I know for sure, and I thought at the time it was some kind of blood moon. It was some kind of symbolism, because right here he's going on this river and he's about to die. Okay, he's about to die, and this happens, and then right after that he dies. He goes into the cathedral, and I'm going to show you that in a second. But the reason right here from up top, you see this barbed wire he has right around, and that acts like that little corona kind of sticking out. Again, corona crown. Oh my goodness, like the virus, the corona. I mean, seriously, this is crazy stuff. Oops. Okay, so that is right here. That's showing a blood moon before his death. Okay, and oh my goodness. Anyway, okay, now let's keep going. So when the apple rolls, again, she drops the apple to give birth to Jupiter, the god Jupiter, which is another version of the Antichrist. Jupiter is is all these different gods, including, it goes back to Nimrod, which was in the first sense, kind of the first Antichrist in a sense. It's Osiris. It's all these different repackaged, repurposed Babylon mystery religions, which go all the way back to Nimrod. So, and then it's rolling across the floor here. Each roll, there's a spot on this apple, and each roll that represents the sun, as I've said, and it rolls, and every time it rolls, it's another day. So as it rolls past this upside down 7 right here, it's the 7th day. And by the way, I've shared this before. When this apple rolls across the 7th day, or this 7 here, right back here backwards is spelled Hawaii, and I found that. It's there. I've showed it in previous videos. It's crazy. So that kicks off stuff with Hawaii, like I've said, okay? And then here we go. I mean, we're talking about this being a red apple or a red moon. That's the other symbol. This is the other version. So we have the big apple being New York and the symbol for the attack on New York. And then we have the big red apple being the big red moon over Hawaii. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And again, New York is the big apple. And on the New Year's time, they dropped the big apple, right? Well, it was a big apple. Now it's the ball or whatever. But it first started out being a big apple. Okay, and that's I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't remember the big exact origin why they call it an apple, but it's symbolic of symbolic of a nuxels. Okay. Anyway, so and Hawaii's going to get that as well. They're going to be hit by a nuxels torpedo. Okay, it's going to be shot out of a Russian sub, and they're called Poseidon torpedoes. Okay, and they're going to hit the base of the Big Island, and then it's going to cause a massive landslide. It's going to cause a huge tsunami. And then on the other side, I've said this for 4 years plus. On the other side, at the same exact time, but different time zone, the new Russian sub is also, that's what the programming shows, it's going to hit the base of La Palma Island, and that's going to cause, but before it's going to start erupting and everything on the first day, but then that's going to be a massive landslide, and it's going to, displace a massive amount of land, goes into the water in the ocean there, and then on that side, both coasts are going to hit simultaneously with massive mega tsunamis. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So right here, rolls right across the 7. And so if I turn this upside down, you see this is a 7, and the C here combined with the roundness of this apple makes it an 8. 7th and 8th. Okay. So whatever month it was or year it was, I did not know for sure. Okay. And I was always speculating, of course. And I am still speculating, but it's the 7th and 8th. And this is exactly the days of this. Can you believe it? I'm kind of pinching myself right now because I cannot even believe that this is here. I mean, this is crazy because it's so huge. It's like, it just fits so perfectly. The 7th and 8th, and this is the apple over Hawaii. I mean, it's like crazy. Okay. Anyway, and here's another example. Again, that shows the eclipse. And right at midnight, in between both the 7th and 8th, is exactly when this happens. At midnight, what does that look like to you? As prove more of what I've said. This is example of a split. If you're watching this happen, this is example of a split on an apple. My goodness, it's just like it's like you see it from the side a little bit more, not straight on, but see it from the side a little bit, and you see the curve of it, and that's a split of an apple right there, and that's the symbolism. I'm like, when I realize that, I'm like, oh my goodness, Lord Jesus, thank you so much. And I give him all the credit. He is the man with the plan, because the first man ran. That was Adam. Anyway, he's the man with the plan. He has guided me through this stuff. He deserves all the... He is the dude, and I thank you for my brother Constantine, my brother Timothy, other people on the Telegram and things that have really helped as well. I'm thank you for a lot of you that have pitched in and are helping with this stuff right now, and even people that give comments and things for years, and it just helped me to understand this stuff even more and more over time. It's so huge, and I'm getting so close to solving this thing 100%, and I may have, so we'll see, but. Look at this. Bam. Okay. Now I want to show you this. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. And again, I thank my brother Constantine because he's literally done these numbers recently. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's what this is. Okay. So this is so again, you saw the full moon, okay, on his head. And then there's a scene. He enters into the cathedral that he's entering into his death. Okay. This is his death. Okay. Now this is what this is showing. It's proving it even more that her death, the queen, is showing his death, okay? Not only the 8th day and all the things I'm showing you, it was in her, 1926 to 2022 and all, and I'm going to show you more here. So right here, he's entering the cathedral. This is his death, and then he makes a whole he travels through this river that's inside, or like the river Styx or whatever. It's a mythology. I forget all the river names, whatever. But he's going through a path of rebirth. Okay, it's a process after death of rebirth, and that starts right here. He goes in here from outside, and then he comes out the cave on the other side, and that's when those water lilies is what they are. They're not lotuses, they're water lilies that spring up out of the water, and then that's where he's revealed to the world. And that's at the end of iPad Goat, and he's on the boat, and then you see the sunset and everything like that. Okay, so but this is when he first dies. Okay, so this is a cathedral. Look at this. What is that? See what's at it? See that? That's the queen's death. See this? Look at that. See up here? See the stained glass windows? That's what this represents. So he's going right into death, and that's her death represents that. It's at a big cathedral. I'm telling you, boom. And then here, again, he comes through this curved top, basically opening, and there it is right there. Okay, and notice how it's, even though there's lights inside here, it's so lit up from outside. See that? So little from outside, and this is her body, her casket, her coffin coming in through this area, and that represents him. Again, her death represents his death, as I'm saying. I thought it might be his birth on that first day, but no, it's showing the middle. It's showing his death. Okay, and I'm showing you more corroboration with that. Now I want to watch. Okay, and then again, there's her coffin there, whatever, and whatever you call that. And then here's the opening right there. See how bright it is? It's crazy. Even though it's so light in here, it's even more bright. See, no matter how light it is right here, it's really bright right there. Boom. Man, this is proven. Oh, holy cow. Okay, thank you, Lord Jesus. Okay, boom, then bam. Look at this. From the Revelation 12 sign, which a lot of things are hinged on, and I'm going to show this massively in my next video with several timelines that show this. Wow. Okay, boom. Okay, so there it is right there. September 23rd, 2017, Revelation 12 sign. To her death, September 8th, is 1,811 days. Well, watch. Do you see that in here? Question mark. Do you see that in here at all? Can you see what's hidden in plain sight that they put right in front of your face that I found a couple years ago, and I'm like, what does this mean exactly? But I saw it. Do you see it? Okay, time's up. Boom, there it is. Let me go back. Here. To see 1811, again, 1811 is right there from Revelation 12 sign to her death, and then her funeral in the cathedral. Boom, 1811 right there. 1811. It's right there. I mean, wow. Okay, wow. Okay, hopefully that blows your mind. And then if you turn it upside down and backwards, what is her death showing you? Upside down and backwards makes this 11:8. You can get rid of the 1, rule of color, you can get rid of the 1, or you can make that 1 a slash, and that's 11:8. And that's when he's actually going to die. I mean, it's right there, upside down and backwards, right there. Boom. I mean, just take this and upside down and backwards, or get rid of the 1, like I said, or make this, move that as over, make this 1 a slash, because 1 is a slash or a 1, or slash is a 1 or a slash. Okay, boom, wow. Okay, now let me take you even farther. This is from the Economist magazine cover, 2017, The World in 2017. And by the way, 2017 is hiding what? 2 is hiding 1 and 1. And then 1 plus 7 is 8. So that's 11:8. And then, remember I've said in my previous videos, if you don't know, 0 is hiding O, and O is 6, or 15. Well, 1 plus 5 is 6. And 6 is 2 plus 2 plus 2. So we literally have 11 in the 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. 11, 8, 2022. 222 is 6. And that's O. I mean, it's right there, okay? So here we have, boom. And then, so if that is the case, if it's showing right here, and we know the blood moon is on the 8th, 7th, and 8th, or the 8th, for example, then I've said the 8th is when Trumple dies. It's a death day, big-time death day, because guess what? I've said a nuke goes off in Manhattan's. And supposedly, not really, supposedly kills Trumple. And he's not going to return. He's going to, maybe he'll be somebody else. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, they've done that many times. For example, Alex Jones is Bill Hicks. He was a comedian that died, and then he came back as Alex Jones. He looks exactly like him, has the same exact teeth, sounds like him. He's even said he was many times. And, and then, for example, JonBenet Ramsey is, that supposedly died when she's 6. She was 6. Is now Katy Perry, and you can look at her face, you can look at a lot of things, and they match. It's insane. They've done this many times. They've recycled people for the different symbols, killed them off. They came back as something else. So I have no idea what Trump will be. Okay, I have no idea. But look at this. This has got the full moon, which is a blood moon right here. Blood moon. For a long time, I was like, what is this? Red moon? Is this a blood moon? Is this Planet X? What is this? Boom, it's right on the 8th day with this mushroom cloud goes off in Manhattan's. Crazy. Okay, and this is judgment. Okay, some people think that because he's the Antichrist. I mean, I'm sorry, but literally, Trump is not going to be it. Okay, he's hated by most of the world. He's not going to come back to whatever. He doesn't fulfill most of what the Bible says about the Antichrist. I mean, he's not a Syrian, okay? I mean, that's absurd. People say, oh, he might be a 2% Assyrian. It doesn't matter. He doesn't look Assyrian. He's not Assyrian. It's not possible. How is he a beast, okay? I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It absolutely makes no sense. It doesn't fit the description whatsoever. I call the idea of Trump being the Antichrist, I call that the lazy man's Antichrist. He's the lazy man's Antichrist. It's the people who haven't actually put the time in to study it or even ask the Lord what is going on. If you actually think that, it blows my mind. So people usually either think something like that, or they think he's a good, really good guy and he's God's man and all that stuff. Stop drinking the Trumpleberry Kool-Aid. And I'm gonna put that out there in a little bit and show you that as well. You got to stop. You got to stop. All these people are controlled. They're controlled. They're put out there for reasons. A billionaire is on your side. No, a billionaire is already sold out. That's why they're a billionaire. Okay, sorry if it's a news flash to you, but it's what it is. He's not on your side. He never has been, never will be, and that'll be proved out by what I've said about him. He'll come back on the first day, and then he'll be killed on the 8th day. You'll see. It'll be proven out. And it's all in predictive programming, gematria and such, and symbolism, as I'm showing right here. Watch. So we have a coronation going on. What is that? Boom. See that? See how that ties together here? There's a corona. And what is a corona? Remember, the virus is a corona? Okay, right? And this has to do with death. Okay, but also a crowning. And they're putting him together with her. So she recently died, and this is her coronation, okay, for example, when she was coronated, and that is her death. And he's holding the same thing, the orb and the mace. He is going to, and look at that, even have see, she has this dress that flows down, even has this kind of thing, is like a dress that flows down. See, this matches, and she's holding the orb and the scepter, and he is too. That's saying he's going to die. It's judgment to the United States, and he is going to be judged as well, in a sense, okay? I mean, that's just what it's showing, okay? People are like, oh, that means he's the Antichrist. Oh, really? Then you don't understand a lot of the different nuances and all these different things going on. It's very one-dimensional thinking. Sorry. I'm talking about thousands of points of data, things that, rely on other things, massive hundreds and hundreds of points of things that rely on other things for me to say something like, oh, Trump was going to come back on the first day and die on the 8th day. It's not willy-nilly. Most people go, A plus B equals C. Really? How, really? I don't think so. And especially when they keep saying it for years, A plus B equals C, A plus B equals C, A plus B equals C, and then it never happens. And you're like, what? Okay, people could say, oh, what you're saying never happens. Well, that's not true. That's not true. Like I showed you in the beginning of this video, those things have happened. I've predicted actual events that actually happened. I said delta-zuls, variant-zuls would be a thing that would come out months before it did, and it came out on the exact day. I said first time they even called something a variant-zuls, I said there would be something called a variant-zuls, and it would come out on this exact day, and it did. And I have many of those. So for anybody who says otherwise, you don't know my videos, obviously, and you're just a naysayer because you're scared and you don't want to believe this stuff's happening. And that's sad for you, but you have to have courage to believe the truth. See, truth requires courage. If you don't have courage, you will not want to seek the truth. It requires truth. Real truth requires courage. Because guess what? You're going to have to go through a valley of hell to get it. Real truth. And if you haven't gone through a valley of hell to get to the real truth, you haven't reached truth. It's on the other side of the valley of hell. And it's just required. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. Okay, that's all I've ever seen for other people and myself. Boom, and then that's a coronal nation. He was the head. He was when he was the president. He was the head of a coronal nation. Okay, get it? A coronation. So he's going to be taken out just like her. Okay, again, she knew all about it, and whether she knew or whether she. So I'm gonna say call it it. These are both its, really. I mean, both really is. In fact, for a lot of you that don't know this, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it for maybe the first time. I hinted at it before, but Trumple could be better named instead of Donald, Donna. Okay, if you ever looked at his structure, he's not a he. He's a he, she. She's a he, she. She's a he, she. He's a Mrs. Doubtfire. Okay, but the other way around. And then Melania is a man. I mean, sorry if you don't know that. That's how this stuff works usually. There's usually some other version of what they show. Okay, for example, we know that the Obamazels are a man, which is Michael, and Baraka is a female and a male together, but more female than male physically, and I've shown that by the anatomy of him / her. Okay, it's there. If you ever take the time to look into this stuff and look at the details, you'll see that. It's just, but most people don't. Most people take things at face value and don't spend much time researching or really probing or asking the Lord those details. And they will shock and surprise you, but you have to have courage. And you have to be willing to go into the areas that people aren't. And you have to be willing to divorce yourself of your stupid theology that's held you back from real truth. But most people aren't. That's the truth. That's the truth of the truth. Okay, boom. Okay, so we have here, this is on her coffin, okay? Sovereign's orb, the orb of a golden globe, whatever. I'm not going to read this. You can read this, okay? You can read this if you want. Pause this, read this. I'm not going to read this. Okay, boom. But how about this? Okay, now we have the crown. I want to make a point with this. So there's a lot of things this is telling. Like I said, on that cover, Trump is holding the orb. That means he's going to die just like the Queen, okay? And there's all kinds of messages in this. I'm just going to cover a couple things right here. I'm going to cover the date that's hidden in this crown. The date of the death that she's pointing to, her death, and all this stuff's pointing to. And even this crown is because they showed him like a king or whatever, but it really says he's going to die. He's going to be coronated. Anyway, watch this. Okay, right here it says, at the center of the coffin lies the crown that monarchs wear as they leave Westminster Abbey after coronation. The crown, which contains 2,868 diamonds. Now we're going to stop right there. Okay, 2 plus 8 plus 6 plus 8 is 24. Okay, now look, 17 sapphires. 1 plus 7 is 8. 11 emeralds is, we'll just make it 11. 269 pearls is 2 plus 6 plus 9 is what? 17, but that's 8. Does that look familiar? Look, 17, and then 2 plus 6 plus 9 is 17. Oh, there's a balance there. Wonder what that is. And 4 rubies. So we're going to do four, but we're going to make 4 is hiding 2 and 2. Okay, so what is this showing here? What is this secretly showing? I'll tell you. November 8th, 2022, because remember 4 is also hiding 22, 2. November 8th, 2022, and November 8th, 22. This is what I call, and they do that many times, and I've shown it in many of my videos, it's a mirror date. And this one's a variance in the year, but it supports the year. So if you know what you're looking at, you can see, hey, they're saying it's this year in 2 different ways right here. It's a mirror date. It's 11/8. Again, when did she die? November 8 in a sense, but it was September is 9, but both are 9. November is really 9, and September to the masses is 9, so it's really 9. Okay, so 11 is really 9. November is 9. So it's 9/8/2022, and that's when she died. And that's in the crown. It's been like that for hundreds of years. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 11/8/22, 11/8/2022, because 4 is hiding 2 and 2, just like this 4 is. Just like this 4 and 4 rubies is hiding 2 and 2. Okay, believe it or not, I mean, you can say, oh, it's there. If you can't see that, I'm sorry. I can't tell you. I'm proving it every single time, every single way. Boom. So this is the timeline. I make it super simple right here. Again, if you want to see the actual timeline and the events, it's pinned to the top of comments in this video and other videos in the future here. So it starts on Halloween. What is that? We have Halloween and Day of the Dead. What a shock. That's what it's always been about. It's been about orange and black. What was that? Orange is the new black? Or... it's all in the numbers. It's all in the names. It's so crazy. It's right there. Here comes the Hallows Eve and the Day of the Dead. Here it comes. Crazy. I don't know what I want to sing. Here comes the rain again. But anyway, and then the first attack day right here. Then we have the demise of Sticky BO and Trumple, or it's Sticky BO's death day and reported death day, but it's also demise of Sticky BO and Trumple right here. Then we have the tsunami days right here, which is in a sense one day. 11/11, 11/12. A lot of you have seen 11/11 many times. All that. That's what that is. And then the last day with the 11, with the 115, and we also have the 11.5 and 511 right here. I mean, there's so much in here. I'm not gonna get into right now, okay? But if you know my past videos, you know what this stuff is. Okay, boom. So then here's another thing. This is an iPad Go. This is Osama Bin Laden on this big piece of ice, supposedly a glacier or whatever. But it's the shape of the island of La Palma. It is, because these are both going to erupt at the same time. So it's spearing this thing right here. What's this? Is another piece of ice? No, it's Hawaii. See, I'm going to show you here. Blow this up a little bit and show you this is Hawaii. And I've shared this many times in the past. It's been a little while, okay, so I'm going back to, it's been a little while. So a lot of you haven't been around, maybe more than a year or more than a year and a half. You don't know about this probably. But this is Hawaii right here. This is La Palma Island. They're both going to go up. Kilauea and then Cumbre Vieja volcano, or they also call it La Palma volcano, but it's not really. It's Cumbre Vieja volcano. But they call it La Palma volcano because this gematria is really solid for the first day. And they love that stuff. Okay, so that's La Palma Island hitting Hawaii, and these are two. That represents the East Coast. That represents the West Coast in a sense. And here it is. That is Hawaii right here. And Hawaii is also secretly what? A goat's head, like an iPet goat. And I've said this many times in the past, and I haven't shared this again for a while now because there's just so many things I've shared about iPad Goat and things I've revealed and all this stuff. I can't even talk about them all the time, or rarely can talk about them because there's just so much that is added up to all this stuff. I mean, can you imagine? Here, start off, I didn't know anything about this stuff 7 years ago. Okay, almost 7.5 years ago when the Lord woke me up, and then I started learning a lot about different things that are coming. But when I started doing my YouTube channel, I really started learning about, or just before I started doing my YouTube channel, I started watching, this guy was putting out iPad Goat, JK Bugout, and he was talking about these things that have already been predicted and they've already been shown up on iPad Go and everything. I'm like, what? And it's predicting the future, but it's because it's all planned and all this stuff. And then I started seeing that some of the things he said were actually happening or have happened, and that's in this thing, in this stupid animated video or movie. And I'm like, whoa. And the Lord was really showing me that that's the case. This is what's going on. It's multi-layered. It's demonic. It's really showing these things, and they're happening. And so that, of course, many super religious, out of their gourd Christians and even not Christians and everything are saying, oh, it's a cartoon and everything, and why are you so obsessed with it and everything? The Lord's obsessed with it, not me. I would run away anytime if He would let me, in a sense. I mean, I want to help people, and that's been my massive motivation. That's the only reason I'm doing this stuff and serving Him at the same time. It's kind of hand in hand, but man, I don't want to do this. In fact, I hate this movie. But on the other hand, it's their playbook, and I was told by that 32nd degree Mason a lot of details about it that I didn't know, and he wouldn't have known if he wasn't in the he wasn't in the inner circle of this stuff, and he knew it, and he said they called this the plan. Okay, at a massive meeting of Freemasons and stuff. And he's a member of a huge family. He's been in this his whole life. And then Jesus, about 5 years at that point when I was talking to him, it was about 5 years into him being a Christian, and Jesus opened his eyes and giving him dreams and visions and all kinds of stuff. It was just awesome. It's awesome. So he's confirmed a lot of things I've said. It's been massive. Okay. And so here's Osama Bin Laden. Okay, and again, this is Hawaii. Remember, I showed you this is Hawaii right here. He's smashing into Hawaii. So this is Hawaii. And here's the blood moon right here. And they're showing it's an eclipse. So it could be either a crescent moon, but no, it's blood moon. And this is showing that what's in the shadow of this is the earth is in the shadow of this, in a sense. That's what this is showing. And I knew it could have been this, but it didn't happen yet. There was nothing, but this is right above Hawaii. It's showing you because he just hit Hawaii. This is right, and this is on the 7th and 8th. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible. Okay, even more stuff I'm going to show you. There's so much even in here. Again, this shows Mary laying down, giving birth. This shows a bad baby coming down and a good baby floating up. This is the birth of the yin and yang. People have said that to me, like, oh, the yin and yang is not a birth and everything. Yes, you want to bet? Right here, this is a scorpion tail as well, because it's going to be right by Scorpio. Going right into Scorpio in this time. And this is the tip of this tail is a baby wrapped in evil wrapping. And then there's a good baby right here going up as this bad baby's coming down in a sense. And that's Satan coming down as good baby's going up. And there's the virgin right here laying here. There's her head. Here's her body. And this baby wrapped in swaddling clothes is going up. That is the man child going up to meet up the head in heaven. And this one's coming down. So that's the birth of the Antichrist. He is the yin, or the good yin and the yang, and there's light and dark. And actually, I've shown this. So you put these two, they both fit together like a yin and yang. These two things right here, boom. It's crazy. Okay, there's so much in here I could explain. Whoo, doggy. Okay, but I'm gonna show you this, and then this. But this happening with this blood moon, it's prophesying this is about to happen because I've shared this as well. Hawaii is the cap of the abyss. And they're going to open. They have to blow it up first. That's why they have to do it right there. Because guess what? This is a locust head. See that eye? See this eye? See these mandibles right here? Not only is this a baby going up, this is also mandible. See, multi-layered mandible. See the mandibles of this locust here? That's a locust head right here. Because they're about to when this. Okay, here comes the moon, or the blood moon, and then a few days later the tsunamis, and then that will open up the abyss right here. So this is all showing a process of a few days. Okay, I'm telling you, believe it or not, it's here. It's absolutely in front of your face. Okay, and then here he is right here. I'm going to show you also in his turban right here, whatever that's called, turban or whatever it's called. I've seen before a 7 and 11, and then also a 3, and it looked like 11, but I wasn't sure. Okay, so then I had this artwork. So let me blow this up. And this artwork from a few years ago. And I'm trying to figure out what is 711 and what is 311 and 311. And here it is kind of, there's 7 right there. And then I kind of, I wasn't sure which one was what, the 11, or if this was 7/11 or whatever. But I could see also a 3 here and an 11 or 3111 or 711. But I was pretty sure it was 711 and 311. But I highlighted, or I colored these in because I wasn't sure exactly how it was laid out. But I knew this was 711 and 311. I just was pretty sure it was. And now it's completely nailed. What are the chances that this matches right? It's not 7/11, it's 11/7. And what's 11/7, November 7th? The 311th day of the year, 311 and 7/11, or 11/7 and 3/11. 11/7 and 3/11 right here. Man, are you kidding me? Do you see that? Glory to God. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Man, finally going to get here. My goodness. Woo! Hopefully you see that. Man, I'm proving it. Man, oh. What are the chances that these two match up right here, and it's right in his turban? And I knew I saw this a couple years ago, and I was like, I know it. I just know there's something with that. But it was 11/7, not 7/11, and then it was the 311th day of the year, which is November 7th. Oh, my goodness. Okay, well, that makes sense. And they're showing this because Sticky B.O. is Osama Bin Laden. So, Osama Bin Laden, if you just switch the B and the S, or the Barry Soetoro, BS, because he's a bunch of BS. If you just switch the B and the S, Osama Bin Laden becomes Obama Bin Laden. Bin Laden. I mean, it's there. Sorry, it's it's there. Osama Bin Laden becomes Obama Bin Laden. What's Bin Laden? Laden means heavy loaded or weighted down. Laden with sin, and they've said about the Antichrist. He's sin laden. He's laden with sin. He is the man. He's the man of sin. The Bible says. Okay, that's a huge indicator that Bin Laden is him. he was Bin Laden, whatever. Okay, that's why when he was president and they said they captured him or whatever, or killed him, whatever, they got rid of the body and they threw him into the sea. They put his coffin in the sea because there's no evidence. So they just put an empty coffin in the sea because he is. And if you ever looked at his head, top of his head, side of his head, his jaw and everything, it's got all this surgery on it. It's crazy. Look at it sometime. Again, I've looked at these details, fine details of so many things over the years that most people have never seen. And to work this up out, and I'm telling you, you look at his face in these close pictures, he has crazy surgery, he has all these scars. How does the President of the United States have tons of scars on the top of his head, on the side of his head, all the kind of stuff, and no one knows about it? I mean, seriously, they're in pictures and stuff. You can look it up. Look it up. I mean, if you've seen any close-ups of his face and the size of his face, it is crazy. It looks like he was in a massive accident and he barely survived. But there's nothing about that nowhere in any of his history, and nothing that anybody knows about. I'm telling you, because he's been surgically changed. He may have been other people too. Okay, what they can do with technology and stuff is crazy, and I think he had to do that to kind of more prove himself or something to them, and add to what they wanted to do. And they needed someone for that role, I guess, and they made him that. And he had the structure and everything. He has all the structure right there. The eyes match, the nose match. I mean, they just did a little bit of prosthetics. Surgically and everything. They did some alterations that you can kind of see. It's very similar. Anyway, I'm telling you, believe it or not, it's right there. The key is also, the name is like, wow, there's no way that would be so close. No way. That's like 1 in a billion trillion shot that would be so close like that. And there'd be so many things. And by the way, when he was around and they were showing him, Stinky BO wasn't around at all. He wasn't even known about. Not really. He wasn't in the limelight. He wasn't in the public light. And then they recorded things earlier as well. So way before that. So anyway, what I was saying earlier about, if you still are drinking the Trump-Berry Kool-Aid, stop. Or, he would tell you to have some more. Well, have some more. Have some more, please. He's about to, a lot of people are going to be drinking it down real soon. Okay, I decided to have fun with that. Okay, so what I'm sharing with you is that this is all, you're being played. Stinky BO is Akhenaten. I mean, look at the creases here. I mean, this is phenomenal. The nose matches 100%. The lips match 100%. Look at this crease. It matches 100%. I mean, it is. When I saw this and I realized Lord led me to this, I about lost it. I about passed out or something. I mean, I could not believe what he was showing me. That when I realized what I was seeing, and I put them together, I'm just like, oh, you got to be kidding me. And they're clones, without a doubt. Without a doubt, these guys are clones. And how many we have out there, I don't know. And how many are really are males that are females, or females that are males, whatever, I don't know. But a lot of them are. And you can just look at their structure. In fact, I've seen, for example, FBI, what do they call it? They could tell structure of body. I forget what they call this one particular lady I'm thinking of. She was an FBI agent, and she did a thing about Michael Obama. Okay, Robinson, and basically proved that by his structure that it's a man, and by everything, all the different things about the fingers and the width of the head on the shoulders and all this kind of stuff. I mean, she said basically he cannot be a woman. I say it cannot be a woman. Can't. Impossible. What we know about the physical form of males and females, it could not be a female. Could not be. Okay, but who knows that? I mean, more people know about that person, but how many people know that Stinky BO, or even, Trumple? Man, if most people, their heads are just start to explode. What? Is a woman? Donna? What? I mean, I just know a wonderful sister in Christ that calls him Donna, because she's done the work. Okay, she's done the work on it. Okay, a little shout out to you. Okay, I don't know. I didn't ask you if you want me to tell you your name, so sorry. But so shout out to you, sister. Donna, yes, Donna. And Mel, Donna and Mel, just like Michael and Baraka. Sorry, but that's what it is. I'm sorry if you can't handle it. So he's also Janus. Okay, he's Janus. Why? Well, it's a number of reasons. He's in the beginning, which is the end. He's looking back and looking forward at the same time. He's been equated to Janus. Here's some artwork. I mean, there's so many. Whatever. Here's another one. And they use it different ways, like he speaks in two faces and all that kind of stuff. But it's there. It's you got to read between the lines. Okay, this is how this stuff works. Read between the lines. He is Janus. Okay, there's another one. I mean, there's just so many. He's Janus. Okay, and why? Because Janus is the god for the name for January. And why? Because January to the elite, again, just like we have with November and September and all that, January to the elite is the 11th month, because February is the last day of the year because the real year starts in spring. I mean, that's how God set it up. That's how the Roman calendar was all set up and everything. That's what the elite really believe, and that's what but they push it out to the public because they're trying to hide all this stuff. That the end of the year is in the dead of winter, and the beginning of the year, which should be in spring, is at the dead of winter. No, I don't think so. Nope. So that's not. But they're just smiling. See, he's just smiling that he knows something you don't know. Okay, that's why Obama's winking that big go, because he's like, I know something. Oh, you don't know what's going on. I'm the AC. Okay, but January is the 11th month. But what's the 11th month to the masses? Right here. Boom, because that's when he's going to come. That's when he's going to come back. I'll be back, Bennett, and that's when he's going to die. So again, it's a play. He's Janus. See all this symbolism here that kind of tell you the story if you're paying attention, and if you're working this stuff through, and you're waiting on the Lord, which I do. I mean, sometimes it's so painful to wait upon Him, but it's gotten better. At other times, it's gotten worse. It's hard. It's hard. Reason why people don't wait on Jesus is because it's hard, and because they're not convinced that it's worth it. And they're distracted, they're discouraged, they're disheartened, everything else. Okay, I call them the 3Ds. Anyway, moving on. So then he's also associated. I'm going to show you another little puzzle the Lord showed me about this and how he's Janus. It's crazy. He's also totally, and thank you also to my brother again, Constantine, for helping me with some stuff with Assange and how this connection is happening with him. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's an anagram. What? Okay, so because he brought out the the WikiLeaks thing. Here it is right here. They're completely associated for different reasons. Why? Because he's Janus, and why? Because it's about his death, and I'm going to show you. And it's about what's coming. This is the judgment that's coming, or the plague that's coming. Okay, so here we go. So they've associated him with WikiLeaks. Remember, he was talking about when he was running when he had the debate with Hillary. Like, I got the emails, and I'm gonna put you in jail, which has never happened, never will happen, because they're all on the same side. I mean, that proves it. I mean, if you think that they're on opposite sides and this is really going on, why hasn't he put her in jail when he said he would and everything? Why has none of these elites been taken care of? And then it seems like whenever there is somebody that that one, what's her name, that was she's in a country club prison, and then nothing really happened. Maxine or whatever, and he knew her, and he was on flights with them. Proven. This guy is a monster. Well, this thing is a monster. Proven. Again, if you don't want to look at it, you don't want to look at it. And most people don't want to look. They want to think there's a savior that's going to, give them better, better interest rates and more better stocks and everything else. I mean, whatever. I mean, seriously. Okay, so that's Assange right there. Julian Paul Assange is a perfect anagram for what? Ready? A plague Janus slain. It is, I'm telling you, believe it or not, a plague Janus slain, because this plague is coming. Okay, remember I said Janus slain is on November 8th, and that's what this blood moon is symbolizing, as well as the death of CBO, because Donald John Trumbull is the John the Baptist, in a bad way, of the false Antichrist, Stinky BO, the 44th Pres. Okay, no bombazles. Okay, but that's a plague coming of these things, locusts and evil and darkness and everything else. Okay, and it's kicking off. Remember the judgment card? It's judgment that's kicking off. Okay. So then what I'm going to do in my next video is I'm going to show how these blood moons, which have a midpoint, which point to the first blood moon and the last blood moon of 266 days, which is a twin birth. That's the human gestation for twins is 266 days, and you have two of those, and how this equals the Revelation 12 sign, and now from the Revelation 12 sign to now to this new timeline, it's locked in place. It's no more, who knows what numbers there really are and everything. And I'm going to show you with a few different timelines, including this and the Revelation 12 sign and how they relate to each other and everything. It's going to be crazy. But I just have more things to put together to kind of solidify this for you. And then how about this? That's Revelation 12 sign, how these two kind of come together, and then they point to this time frame completely. They just kind of lock it down, okay, as I'm saying. And then how these, there's a timeline the Lord's led me to that lock these together. And it's really crazy. Okay, and I'm going to show that and prove that. Again, it locks down this time frame, and no more symbols, and it could possibly be it and all that stuff. Now, again, I'm still speculating, so there's just in my mind, there's a small chance this won't happen, but you'll be the judge, and then eventually it'll either happen or it doesn't. So that's it. And either I'm completely right and I'm going to nail the sucker, or I'm completely wrong. And I'm putting that out there. I could be wrong, okay? That's it. And I've been wrong before, and I could be wrong again. But what I have right now is unprecedented. Unprecedented. And I'm gonna let you see that. I mean, look. I mean, for crying out loud, look at this. Look at the order that's already happened, and that's in a PlayStation controller that millions of people use and see as programming, and you can't see that there's something there. I'm showing this to you. I mean, how do you not? I'm showing this to you, and you should be able to go, oh, wow, there's something there. This is what? Okay, that's how it works. You should be able to, with your spidey senses, with your some kind of senses that you have, be able to look at this and go, whoa, there's something there. Or look at this, and there's something there. What? Or if anything I've shared, there's so many things I put out there that the Lord just wants he wants to hook you in and say, look, this is from me. He's saying it's from him. He's hooking you. And if you're so like, oh yeah, there's nothing there. It's just numbers. It's just symbols. Nothing means nothing. I can't be taught. I'm sorry. I mean, whatever. I mean, seriously, wake up. If you have a problem seeing some of this stuff, please, for your own self and for your family and your friends, wake up. They need you. They need you. And that's why I'm even doing this. Because if this stuff happens on the first day, and then the fourth or fifth day and all this stuff, and it starts happening, and I've said it, and Jesus really has said it through me ahead of time, then they need to believe that. They need to see that. They need to know that. You need to know that. Because what other hope do you have? What other evidence do you have that the truth is real? Most people, it's fading away daily. It's going away. The goodness is disappearing. Evil is prevailing. It's unreal. Oh, man. It's unreal. I can't believe it. I can't believe we're still here. That's what I have a hard time with. We're still here? It gets more and more dark, more and more evil, more innocence is being destroyed by the minute. It's only because of God's long suffering, because he's bringing more people in before, just to the very end. Just to the very end. And it's heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking, because I want all the innocent to be taken to safety right now. Yesterday, last year, years ago, whatever. I mean, seriously, here, oh man, this is my heart, sorry. I'm not apologizing, but in a sense I am, but it's, man, wow. Okay, so anyway, this timeline here, what was I saying about this? Oh yeah, so again, right here is, this is Stinky B.O. and Trumple, and it also is Stinky B.O.'s death and reported death. This is huge. This is just in time for what? Midterms. So look at this article, for example, Trumple looks to fall launch for 2024, potentially upending midterms. So they've said many, many times that he could run right before midterms. And when is that? That's right here. That's right here. That's when he's going to come. And then a week later is midterms. And that's what they're kind of hinting on, okay? So, again, midterms is when he comes in. Here, look, this is all the numbers. English ordinal, I mean, it's just solid English ordinal. 11, 1, and then 1 plus 5 is 6. And again, 6 is hiding 2, 2, 2. So 11, 1, 2, 2, 2. He's going to be right in before midterms and just, yeah, and mess it and really throw a monkey wrench in the whole thing. Especially with all the stuff that, they're coming after him supposedly and all this stuff. This whole narrative of him, all this opposition, which is really firing up the right. And then the left is really getting ticked because this guy is a criminal and they're really firing up the left. And man, it's a powder keg. And the elite all behind it, they're on the chessboard, they're moving the pieces, and they're laughing At you. If you don't understand this, they're laughing at you. Don't let them laugh at you. Let them laugh at other people. You be the one that knows what's going on. And connect up with Jesus, and he'll show you more and more. If you listen. I tell people all the time on my channel, try listening to Jesus for a change. It's not easy, but it's simple. Okay, it's simple. Just listen and get out of distraction and all this other stuff and listen and wait on him. Those who wait upon the Lord. Man, read that scripture. Holy crap. Or how about trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. I mean, that's all the way in Proverbs. I mean, but it holds true today, and it's about walking with Jesus. It's about trusting in the Lord with all your heart and not doing what you think you should do, but wait upon him on everything. Who does that these days? Do you? I do. I do to a fault. It's really ridiculous, and I'm suffering because of it. Daily. I can't even sleep. I'm doing this video, and I can't even sleep. I'm trying to muster up the strength to do this video, and then the only reason why I'm even inspired at all is because the Lord just comes into me, and he just starts giving me strength. And I don't like to ask for prayer all the time and stuff, because I don't want to just focus on that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to focus on the inadequacy and stuff and what's going on with me, but I know I'm healed. I just know it, but I'm not experiencing it all the time, and I'm not sleeping. I'm sleeping like right now 3 hours at a time, and it's a crazy, trippy life. So I guess I'll just ask you for prayer right now. Thank you for your prayers, and I am already healed in Christ. That's the truth. So, thank you for being there. Anyway, anyway, I don't want to look at his ugly mug, but I mean, the orange man thanks you. The orange man. By the way, orange is Halloween. This is crazy. And orange is also the blood moon. It's, oh my goodness, so much in that. It's crazy. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with this picture right here, because this is much more soothing. I like thinking about this instead. Oh, thank you, Lord. Lord is awesome. See, wow. Okay. I mean, no matter what the circumstances, God is good no matter what you're experiencing. That is the truth. You know, I mean, that's it. No matter what I'm experiencing, God is good. That's it. The problem is most people don't believe that. And I didn't for a long time. Deep down inside, the enemy puts us with this idea that, first of all, I'm not even good. And then second of all, God's really not that good, really. That's the two ways he moves us away from God and moves us away from listening and doing what we should and everything. He says one of those two, or usually both of those, some version of both of those two, you know, you're really not that good, and then, or something's wrong with you, and then, but he doesn't say it like that. He says it in your own voice. Oh, something's wrong with me. They say, oh, something's wrong with me. I'm not really that good. And then, oh, God's really not that good. Not really that good. But he is. He is. Anyway, sorry, that's me. So I just the whole thank you was, I just thank you for the ones who've given. If you're able to give, I mean, we're pretty much almost caught up here, or caught up in a sense. But I just feel like the Lord's told me go ahead and ask again. If this is going to go at least till November, so I'm pretty confident. I mean, that if that's the case, I mean, again, I'm speculating, so who knows, really, but I'm going to bring the evidence, okay? So, but if it goes there, you know, I'm going to need more, so if you're able to give, again, link in the description box for PayPal and even Zelle Pay and stuff there. Sign up at ZellePay.com. It's free. It's way better than PayPal. And then I have a P.O. box as well if you're able to help. I really, really appreciate it. My family does as well, big time. Thank you for your prayer. And again, I didn't expect to really ask, but I'm going to ask for your prayer for my sleeping. I mean, it's kind of getting worse. I have sleep apnea, and it's severe. And I've went to doctors about it. They gave me a stupid CPAP thing, and it made it worse. I can't even sleep while this thing's shooting air down my throat. I mean, it's crazy. And then I don't have regular insurance. I just trust God for everything. And it's always been that way. I'll never do anything different. I will die trusting him. That's it. That's the way I am. And if people don't understand that, I'm sorry. He's my health assurance. I don't need health insurance. He's my health assurance. And then I do, I have to take vitamins, minerals, and all this kind of stuff and different smart things and stuff with that. But then he's healed me so many different ways. And now it's like, it's just not happening for some reason. But I still believe it's going to happen, and it is happening. And the Lord's telling me he's doing something right now, and he won't tell me what he's doing. But anyway, so just so you know, and then I know a lot of you that are struggling, you're believing. And I'm telling you, at the end here, some things are not getting handled, and we're struggling because he wants us to really believe, even in the struggle. And it's a last bit, it's a last ditch. Are you going to trust me, even in the hard stuff, that I'm not coming through like you think? And all that. I can't explain it. So just, and if I get funky comments about this stuff, you're gone in 2 seconds. Okay, I'm putting my heart out there. If you don't like it or agree, and when you're super religious, just take your stuff and go somewhere else. This is my house. If you're in my house, I don't take kindly to people bashing the truth or the Lord Jesus or me. Okay, I will delete you in 2 seconds. That's it. Okay, but if you're just honestly asking questions or whatever, that's something different. And, so anyway, it's about trusting him even when it's a struggle, because he wants you to be trustworthy. He wants to be able to trust you and me. And we're barely trustworthy. But when you go through his gauntlet, he makes you more trustworthy. It's just, wow. Okay, anyway, that's me. Sorry if you don't like it. I'm not apologizing, but I just did. Anyway, so thank you so much. I appreciate you. Anyone who's prayed for me, please pray for me with this. Thank you. The positive comments, please share this video. Man, this stuff's coming, and people need to see my next videos too before this comes. I mean, they're going to be massively huge. You'll see. Anyway, so thank you so much. God bless you. And this is Exalted Lamb 1. Over now.